situation with the voices in your head. They said that love has shut the door on you, and you'd be better off instead. Girl, don't you listen? Your time is gonna come. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. Yeah. So when you gonna let somebody in? It's a classic situation where you don't know how to feel, so you go it alone. You turn off the phone when the struggle gets too real. Yeah. Girl, you better listen. It's time to make a change. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. So when you gonna let somebody in? Yeah, let 'em in. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. So when you gonna let somebody had another rough conversation with the voices in your head. They said that love has shut the door on you, and you'd be better off instead. Girl, don't you listen? Your time is gonna come. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win. Yeah. So when you gonna let somebody in? It's a classic situation where you don't know how to feel, so you go it alone. You turn off the phone when the struggle gets too real. Yeah. Girl, you better listen. It's time to make a change. You talk about lonely, you talk about scared. I think you're thinking that nobody cares. Well, you know it ain't over, but where to begin? You gotta play if you wanna win.
All right, good evening, good evening, good evening, good evening. Happy Sunday evening, broadcasting from the B-Level Entertainment Studio. I am your host, B-Level. Tristan, unmute your mic. You unmute your mic. Everybody unmute their mic.
I'm Tristan Transformations.
Anthony P, you next, fool.
Yeah, what's happening, ladies and gentlemen? Y'all know who I are. It's your boyfriend, Anthony P. What's happening?
And I'm Candy Webb.
All right, together we go by the UTB, the baddest podcast in the world. Welcome, welcome, welcome to the Sunday edition of UTB Podcast. Now, listen, I've got a couple of little bills that I got to pay, and then we're going to pitch it over to Tristan. But first thing that I want to tell you, you guys are watching the beautiful, intelligent Miss Candy Webb, we're welcoming to the team, the UTB Podcast. She is a part of our crew now. So welcome, welcome, welcome to Miss Candy Webb. Let me just give a round of applause for Candy Webb. The next thing that I want to tell you about, I am so happy about that. Let me see if I can put y'all faces up here. Listen, UTB is celebrating our 100th episode. Round of applause for 100 continuous episode without a day off. Now, Tristan, Anthony, Andrea, and Jayla are always talking about they don't get any time off, right? So 100 consistent episodes. Now, we've had some time off with the holidays and stuff, Tristan. So don't be acting like you don't never get off. But let me tell these people what we're doing. So listen, I need you guys to mark your calendars. Sunday, September the 7th, we're going to go at 5 o'clock. Again, 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock, 5 o'clock. We are going to have a live taping. It's going to be free to the public. I want all of our day one supporters to come to that address right down at the bottom, 4401 East 46th Street. It's the Frisale's Clubhouse in North Little Rock, right off McCain. That's where it is. A live taping. It's free admission. I want to have as many people in the audience. You guys will be a part of our live audience. We're going to ask some questions. We're going to do our show in front of you guys, but you will be able to comment live and in color. Now, I'm going to tell you, if you come with somebody you're not supposed to be there with, somebody's baby mama, somebody boo, you might want to sit separate with them because we will have a camera there. We will be live streaming and you will get to say your comments. You won't have to type them in. You won't have to call in. It's live on location. I want everybody to mark their calendars. Sunday, September the 7th at 5 o'clock, not at 7, 5 p.m. so that you could get home, put your kids in bed, go to work Monday morning. But I want everybody to join the whole crew for our 100th episode, okay? Our 100th episodes, okay? The last thing, but not least, B-Level, on the level of B-Level, we have every Wednesday at 7:30. And this week, Candy, Tristan, Anthony, I'm going to have my family on, and I'm calling this family business. So y'all going to get to be, look at Anthony. I'm going to have my, 8 members of my family members, and we just going to talk family business stuff. So you guys will get to be up close and personal with my family for this week, okay? Now, Tristan, you've got some people on here. You need to tell them what you need them to do as far as sharing and shouting these people out.
Hey, y'all, I need you guys to share, and I'm going to shout you out in the comments. We already got people sharing. Hey, Patricia, thank you for sharing. Hey, Yolanda. Hey, Tony, thank you for sharing. Hey, Bologna. I think or Viola. I'm sorry. I think I'm saying your name wrong.
Viola, yeah.
Marquez share. Marquez to share.
And your sisters on here as well.
Yes, Viola.
All right, so listen, share it, and do me one other thing, if you guys will. Put at followers in the comments, okay? So this feed can go out to all of your followers. So if you will, put the at symbol and followers like we did from my personal page, like we did from the UTB podcast page as well, okay? All right, let me go ahead and bring my guest up for tonight. Go ahead and bring him up. You guys, some of you guys that don't know him, he's been around forever. He's been around since 2013. He has his own podcast. He's worked for Little Rock Hood News. He's been done a lot of things on social media. I want to welcome to the UTB platform. I call him, this is a personal friend of mine, I call him Mr. Marquez TV. Welcome to the podcast. Welcome to the podcast, Marquez. Listen, can you hear us? Are you good? Can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you very well.
Okay, well, first of all, welcome to the podcast. And tonight, we are going to talk about. We're going to have some conversations with you, the whole crew. Give people a rundown of basically Marquez back in the and I'm kind of starting from the start. Okay, this is what our conversation is going to be about. Back in the 90s, growing up, I knew Marquez. Marquez, I knew his family. We were just close. I got an inbox from Marquez, I guess, a couple of days ago, and he wanted to come on and talk about a situation that's near and dear to his heart. First of all, as I will say, welcome. But the first question I wanted to ask you, Marquez, and I asked you that day is, why did you pick us? Why did you pick me? Why did you pick UTB to come and tell your story? Why did there are plenty of platforms, there are plenty of podcasts that you could have chose. Why did you choose UTB?
Well, I chose UB because for one, you know me. Actually, we go back further than the 90s. We actually go back into the 80s and possibly some of the 70s.
Okay.
When we grew up in the same area and neighborhood. But I picked you because not only because you know me and I know you, but I followed you for years, and I know that your show deals with integrity. Integrity is a big main word that means a lot to me. I listen and watch your other fellow individuals on the show, and I know that you all are not just about getting the information out there and talking about it, but you want the truth. You care about people's feelings and emotions and what we're all going through. So I was actually just cleaning out my closet, and something just hit me, and I said I've got to talk about this because I've been still dealing with it for years, and it's like mental health issues. So you were the person that came to my mind, and I reached out.
Well,
here we are.
I appreciate that you trust me with your story. I appreciate that you trust our platform, my counterparts. We truly do care about our individuals. We respect the people that come on. As it relates to us, before we get into your story, I think we have some family housekeeping that we need to do. Something that Anthony P wants to talk about. So before we get into Marquez's story, I'm gonna pitch it to Anthony P and let him say what he needs to say before we go to talking with you. P, you got some stuff you wanna say?
Yeah, it's basically, first I want to say, shout out to the UTB podcast. Look at my homeboy over there drinking that wine. Last week, like I say, me and my partner Tristan, we play all the time, but I think, he got maybe I say took something the wrong way. And so I just wanted to make sure I set the record straight with him on the podcast, so his people would know that we have no beef. We straight up homeboy. Actually, he's my first gay homeboy in my life. And so we have no. See, I'm trying to be serious. I'm taking a moment of silence. I'm taking a moment of silence. I'm doing a moment of silence so people know I'm for real. I apologize.
That's good.
Moving right along. Now, God damn it, B-Level, I'm gonna pitch it back to you.
So listen, Tristan, that's probably about as good as you gonna get. Tristan, how do you feel about this apology? I do want to give you an opportunity to address this apology that Anthony.
I accept, even though it was dry. I accept this apology.
Hey, anything you get from me gonna be goddamn dry shit. Damn what you talking about. I ain't never getting you no wet shit, nigga. Fuck you.
Okay, so just so that people should add some content. Last week's, P said some stuff. Tristan,
play the video.
I don't have it on here. I don't have the video.
I said. Tristan
I got the video. Let me send it.
Nah, I said, nigga, I know what to talk for my goddamn self, nigga. I don't need you to play no goddamn video for me. I said Tristan was a pussy. but I wasn't talking about in the bad pussy way. I don't know about the other good pussy part, but I'm just saying I was calling him a pussy in a good way. You know, and he thought I was calling him a pussy ass nigga and all that shit, you know.
You did.
So yeah, but yeah, motherfucker.
So
So I ain't
listen,
know mental health real, so I don't want him going home trying to off himself and unalive himself. So
No, not myself.
so
let me make
listen.
sure.
To add some context, we got kind of sideways last week, and there was this big debate over P said this one thing. Obviously, when we got off, we went back and he noticed that he did say exactly what Tristan thought he said. So, he said that he wanted to apologize for Tristan. So I wanted to give him, the disrespect of what we thought was done publicly. So I wanted to give him an opportunity to apologize.
Good job. Good job.
Yeah, that's my partner. Like I said,
You want
look at
Tristan to kick his
my
ass.
quiz. Look at my quiz over there. Huh?
Tristan, hopefully, I heard
Even though your apology was dry,
my quiz. They go for your
I
ass
think
too.
it was hard.
They go for your ass too.
It was hard
Me gonna
felt.
be dry. Goddamn it.
It was hard felt. Hey, you just got to take what you can get from who it is.
Okay,
Like
so
Martin proposed
Tristan,
to Gina, will you marry
Tristan,
me?
Tristan, you do accept this apology. I want to make sure we get. Oh, Tristan just left. He trying to get his phone.
He got to wipe his face. He crying and shit. He got to wipe tears.
Okay,
and shit.
he's gonna come back in. Let me read some of these comments. I got Tam on here. Let's see. Tony O. Dixon say, "Leave it alone, P. You making things worse." Viola Moreland is saying, "So glad you cleared that up, P, and apologize." Let me get Tristan back in here. I'm reading some comments. Okay, so Viola says, "So glad you cleared that up, P, and apologize." Yeah, as I said the other week, we're family. So just like family, we argue, we fight, but we love on each other. So,
but Tristan hit bitches with bottles.
Yeah, Tristan ain't no. So Tristan, I do want to give you an opportunity. Do you accept his apology?
Yeah, I accept this apology.
Okay.
Man, nigga accept my apology the day of, cause he know me. It ain't, so But yeah, we'll go ahead on. Move right along, goddamn. Tonight we got a good show tonight. We got Marquez.
Let's move. So listen, we're talking to Marquez TV. So back in the 90s, some stuff happened to his family. I'm gonna give you guys set the conversation up, and then we're gonna go into our conversations with. Sometimes in the 90s, Marquez is no mystery. He has admitted on our platform that he's a gay man. At some point in time, way back, and we're going to get into what happened. Most times back in the 90s, the LGBT community was not as open as it is now. Gay, males were not, I ain't gonna say as welcome, but it wasn't as upfront. A lot of people were in the closet. Marquez back in the day, Marquez, you stop me when I'm wrong, was not down low. He was out the closet. Oftentimes he even cross-dressed as a woman. And at some point in time, something happened, and we're going to get into it with his best friend, his brother's best friend, and it led to Marquez pulling out a firearm, shooting this guy, and going to the Department of Correction, which he served 12 years. Marquez, is that how much time you served?
It was 12 years, 10 months, and some days.
Okay.
Right at 13 years.
So almost under 13 years. And this situation has really devoured his family. It tore his family apart. So I want to start with Marquez. I want to go all the way back from the start. Okay. I want you to tell us a little bit about your family. The young Marquez. Your mother, how many brothers you have, how many siblings did you have? Give me a little snap Reader's Digest of the way your family dynamics was made up.
Well, back then, I had 3 brothers. No, hold on. 1, 2, 3. I had 4 brothers.
Okay.
2 on my mother's side, 2 on my father's side.
Okay.
So the 2 on my father's side, they had the same mother and father.
Okay.
And the 2 on my mother's side had the same mother and father.
Okay.
We just all had different, mothers and fathers when it came to me.
Mm-hmm.
I was the baby. I was the youngest child. I had what you would consider in the 70s and the 80s a regular childhood. My father, both my parents were active in my life. My dad used to take me fishing, hunting, baseball games, everything a father would do with his sons. A lot of people wondered where my sexuality, where it came from or whatever, because none of my brothers that I know of were gay. But with me coming up in the 70s and in the 80s and not knowing exactly what gay was, or if you were considered as gay, it was taboo. It wasn't outspoken about. I don't know where. I mean, only thing I can contribute to it was I inherited more female chromosomes than more male chromosomes. But I would say I was very good at masking it growing up as a kid, to a point that the only people that really just knew were some that were close to me or whom I would let know. But I know a lot of people out here probably gonna ask and wonder if my parents knew I was gay. No, they did not. Not to my understanding.
So basically, when you were young, you masked it. You was not what we consider to be out of the closet. When do you think, Marquez, that you came out of the closet and identified as a gay man? When you started letting people know that you were gay?
I came out really when I was a little bit after 15.
Okay.
It was right after my dad died. Once he passed away, that's kind of when I went off the rails and started just going a route that, had he still been alive, I never would have went. My whole goal was to graduate from high school and go off into the Air Force, because I was in ROTC at Central. But once he passed away, that was, if people have a relationship with their father and their father is like their best friend, and then you lose that person at a young age of 15, you don't understand. I mean, you might not be able to process. Everybody's not going to be able to process that.
Okay.
In the, and I was one of the ones that I wasn't able to process it.
So when you waited to after your father passed, was it because you didn't want to disappoint him? Did you think that, a big part of you hiding and masking that because you didn't, a lot of guys don't want their sons to be considered gay. So do you feel like you waited till he passed to come out because you did not want to disappoint your father?
I do believe that there was some parts of me that felt that way. Over the years, some people have told me, boy, your daddy knew. He probably knew, and he may have. My daddy, to me, he wasn't no evil man. But at the same token, felt about me as being his son. He cared. He loved me. But that was just something that not only to him, I didn't want my mom or anyone knowing that I was gay, different, whatever you want to call it, from all the other little boys in the neighborhood.
Yeah. Did your dad live in a house with your mom? I don't know if you answered that. Was your dad married to your mom? Was he in the house with you every day?
Yes, they lived together up until they separated. They separated, I would say it was sometime about I want to say about 1980. And they separated, but I had a relationship, still had a relationship with both of them. I would, it was kind of like joint custody. There would be times when my dad was supposed to have me for the weekend or whatever, and I'd go stay with him, then come back to my mama and so forth. But it was never, to my understanding of growing up, it was never the toxic way that you see now at days, where parents cannot coexist, and they get into fights. And when they meet up with the child, and you know, it was nothing like that back then. No, it was nothing like
Okay.
that.
Okay. How was your relationship with your brothers?
Oh my God, my brothers. A lot of people know one of my brothers in particular because he's very well known here in Little Rock. But we have different last names. His last name is Jolly. He was a Little Rock police officer for a number of years, and he's now head of security for Tracy Johnson over Taboo and Trois. Our relationship, man, I'll just put it like this. The relationship that me and Jolly had back then as kids growing up, we were like Batman and Robin. When you got into it with one of us, you had to fight both of us.
Okay.
Point blank, period. That we were, I mean, we might have an argument with one another, but as far as love goes, there were no rifts or nothing. Yes, we were very close.
Who's the oldest? How far apart are you guys in age?
He's the oldest. He's 3 years older than me.
Okay. And then you do have, how many other brothers do you have other than Jolly?
Okay. My other brother that's on my mother's side, Tremaine, he's deceased. He died in 2015. He was 6 years older than Jolly.
Okay.
And then the two that's on my father's side, one of them is 63 now, and the other one is, I want to say, 66 or 67.
Okay. Do you have any sisters?
Well, not biologically, but there is a young lady that I met after I got out of prison. And Candy knows who I'm talking about. She, as far as I'm concerned, you can't tell me she's not my sister. The love and relationship and bond that her and I grew starting in 2005 after I got out of prison. It's, as far as I'm concerned, she's my
but
sister.
she's not your biological sister, though.
Correct, that I know of. My dad she could be. My daddy was a hoe. So he could.
Okay. All right. So we've established the siblings, your mother. Talk about your mother. What kind of mom was she?
Woo. My mama, she was born and raised in the projects of West Palm Beach, Florida. My mama was a tomboy. She grew up fighting dudes. And she knew how to throw them hands. And I had a fairly good relationship with my mom. I just say, we kind of, when her and my dad separated, I kind of blamed her more, and I fell out more with her because as a kid coming up, my dad couldn't do nothing wrong. That was my ace boon coon. Where he went, I wanted to go. So I could never see him doing anything wrong. That Arthur Miller was my ride or die. Me and my mom, we didn't start really having a real solid relationship until I was 17, and she come down the stairs one night, and I was trying to leave the house and get in the car with my cousin, and I closed the top of the freezer, and my mama was standing there, and she saw me in full drag.
Okay, so good. You're leaving to Greg. So I want to go into when you was 15 and you decide to come out of the closet of being gay. Right off, did you start dressing drag? Did you kind of, gently get into that when you were 15? how did people know that you were gay? How did your family know? When was the first time that your family saw it and just knew that you were gay?
It was on Halloween one year, and I decided that I was gonna get one of my mama's wigs and get in her makeup, and I did for Halloween, and that was my way of getting everybody in the neighborhood to see me for who I was. If I could use that, I could use Halloween as a masking of it. And everybody in the neighborhood, they loved it. They laughed. They were like, boy, you look just like Miss Nail. Oh my God, I thought you was your mama. And stuff like that. We laughed about it. But no one, I would say, just really just said he's gay. That was not back in the late 70s. I'm gonna say back in the late 70s, early 80s, mid 80s, and everything. For the Black family to acknowledge a boy as being gay and saying, "Oh, he's gay," that ain't nothing. That was taboo. That wasn't, that wasn't something that would have been acknowledged freely.
So you go out on Halloween, you dress like a woman. That's the way of coming out of the closet softly. Did you continue after that day to dress like a woman?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
So,
I did.
What was that conversation like with your brother, your mother? Because this was, oftentimes what, people kind of know stuff in the house, right? But when it gets outside of the house, that's when it's a real big issue, when the public gets to knowing. So what was that conversation like when it got to the public and people knew it was no longer Halloween day and that you were for real, dressing like a female? What was that conversation like, and who was it with?
Okay, so one night back then, me and my cousin, we used to get in drag, and then we would ride the streets of Little Rock. And we're talking about like 1990, 91 back then. And my cousin went to Hall High. His name was Jimmy. And he was the first openly homosexual cheerleader on the squad. He got murdered some years here go back, and everybody know him as Alexis because he did the whole transformation. So we used to ride around, and we would go up to the gas station on the corner of 12th and Fair Park, and we would be up there. And back then, that was the hangout spot on Fridays and sometimes Saturday nights for all the high school kids. So one particular night, everybody from Hall and everybody from Central was up there. So we decided that we were going to drive up there in full drag and just what we call wreck the boys. Well, when I got out the car and I got ready to walk in the store, somebody hollered, "That's Jolly's brother." And I tried to take off running. Well, they rushed me and they bombarded around me. And I mean, back then, Jolly was in high school. Was he still in high school yet? Now, he had went to Central. I think he had already graduated, but he was getting ready to graduate. So I can't remember exactly what it was, but so everybody saw us. They made a big deal out of it and everything. So the next day, I went over to my grandmother's house, and the conversation with Jolly was this. I think I was probably about 17, maybe 18. So he was somewhere around about 19 or 20, somewhere up in there, close to, give or take. He called me in his bedroom, and he closed the door. And he pushed me up against the door. He said, "Say, nigga." I heard that you was out there at the gas station dressed up like a motherfucking woman. And I said, what is you talking about? I said, what is you talking about? So he grabbed me, pointed finger in my face, and he said, if I catch you anywhere out in public with a dress, a skirt, or some high heels or anything on, I'm gonna beat your motherfucking ass. And I tensed up and I told him, I said, look, let me tell you something. All my friends don't know who you are. If you touch me, we gonna beat your motherfucking ass. I'm telling you. So don't just run up on me and grab me. So he was like, so this must be true. It must be true. So he got ready to hit me. I ducked. He punched the door. I snatched the door open and I ran out, out the bedroom. So we just never, that I can remember, we never really had the conversation ever again. I never really talked to him about it again. He never really saw me ever dressed up before, but that was the one conversation that I could say that I had with one of my siblings that knew.
Okay, for those of you guys that are just tuning in, we're talking to Marquez. He's talking about growing up gay, his family realizing that he was gay when he came out of the closet, and we're leading up to what happened in August of, I think, 92. Now, for the sake of time, we've kind of covered growing up. I want to fast forward to the night that happened with his best friend. What happened that night? How did that night end in you being, I don't know if they caught you that night or being charged with murder, but tell me how that day was. Was that a regular day? If you remember, was that a regular day? Did it start off, sometimes when people end it rough, they say the day started off rough. Was it a regular day for you that day?
Yeah, it really was. I was 19 on that day, and I can't say how the day was, but it was it seemed to be a normal day leading into that night. That night, me and some friends decided to get together and go out to a club. Well, the two friends that I was with, they were having a difference of opinion on which club to go to. And then they asked me which one did I want to go to. Well, I said I didn't care because I was underage. So as long as I could get in a club, I didn't care which club I went to. So we went back to the house, which was in the hood over there off of 10th and Jefferson. And so we were all out in the yard and we were all talking. We were drunk. Everybody was drinking, having a good time. It was almost like a block party. And so we're standing around looking, and I saw T get in his sister's car and trying to start up her car. Well, I already knew he was too drunk to drive. She had a stick shift. So I go inside. She was asleep. I wake her up. And I asked her, I said, did you give T permission to drive your car? So she was like, no. I said, well, you better go outside and get him. I said, because he's trying to drive off in your car. Now, the thing to that was this. We were all like a family. Back then, we had what was called the village. And his family was my family was his family. We all of our families in that neighborhood on that street had permission to discipline everybody's children if they saw them acting up. So I thought and felt like I was doing something positive by going in the house and waking his sister up and keeping him from driving because he was entirely too intoxicated to drive. Well, she goes outside. She embarrasses him. She make him give up her keys. He gets out the car, and everybody in the yard, they laughing at him, and they say, you thought you were going somewhere. You thought you were going somewhere. He immediately walks over to me and punches me in the chest. Now, back then, I was like 6'1", 6'2", maybe like 130 some pounds. I was real skinny then. Nowhere the size that I am now. And he was 3 years older than me. So with me being 19, he was like 21, 22, somewhere up in there. Because him and Jolly was the same age. He was a basketball player size. He was what you would consider like LeBron
he was like
James size.
6'5", 6'6". He was tall.
Yeah. So he hauls off and punches me and knocks me down. I fall and I hit the ground. And he was like, he said, "You told on me, punk." Like that. So I'm laying on the ground and I said, "Do it again." And he said, "What you gonna do?" I said, "Do it again." So he says, "Hold on, I'll be right back." So he goes inside the house. So somebody comes over to me. It was his sister, Keisha. She came over to me and she helped me get up off the ground. And she was like, "Are you okay?" And so people dusting me off, knocking the dirt off my pants and everything. And I'm standing there and I'm, and to be honest with you, I wish I would have left. I wish I would have just turned around and just said, "You know what, I'm going home." But Corey's mama, D came out the house because she heard all the commotion going on. So she was like, "Marquez, what's going on?" So I turned around and I started walking towards the porch because D was like a second mama to me. And so I went to the porch and I started telling her what was going on. As I'm explaining to her what's going on, here comes T busting back out the house. D tried to grab him to stop him, and he snatched away from her and everything, and he come down the steps of the house. So by this time, I'm turning around, walking away. So he running behind me. I turn around, and he pushing me with his left hand. And he's like, "What you gonna do now, punk? What you gonna do?" And I'm like, "T, gone on." And he steadily pushing me with his left hand. His sister Keisha, she on his right side holding his right hand, and she trying to pull him away, but he's steadily pushing me with his left hand. So by this time, I noticed he had something in his hand, in his right hand. So I reached in my pocket. I carried a little 25 semi-automatic back then. So I reached in my pocket and I cocked it and I pointed it at him. And I told him, I said, "Get back." So by this time, the entire silent. And Keisha had, and he looked at me. He said, what you gonna do? You gonna shoot me now?" And I said, that's when I realized he had a knife in his hand. And I said, "Drop that knife." And I was probably we were probably standing at about I can't even say from about how far we were from each other. But it was probably about 2 arm lengths. I would probably say, as far as distance wise, 2 to 3 arm lengths. And I told him to drop the knife, and he did like that. When he did like that, I reacted, and I ended up pulling the trigger, not realizing how many times I had shot the gun. And after the shots rang out, it was like everything just stood still, and he just fell face first. And when he fell face first, he hit the ground, and everybody started, I could hear and see everybody running and screaming, "Oh my God, call 911. Marquez, what have you done? Oh my God, call 911." And I'm standing there and I remember I was looking down at him and I was saying to myself, what I know this ain't just happened. What is going on? And I'm telling him to get up. I'm saying, T, get up, get up. And again, people are running around the yard, screaming and hollering, running over there to his body. And somebody threw a bottle at my head. It was a 40-ounce bottle. And the 40-ounce bottle whizzed right by my head. It's just here. And when it did, that's what jarred me to my senses. And the bottle hit the ground and busted. And I turned and I looked and I seen what it was. And I just turned around and started back. I turned around and started backing up and moving out the yard. And Corey's sister went to the body, or I'll just say she started chasing me. I don't know if she had anything in her hand. And Corey's sister back then, she was a track star. She could run. But I'm running, she's chasing me. I done took my shoes off because I got some slip on, and I've got my shoes in my left hand, and I've still got the gun in my right hand. And as I'm running, I'm now saying to myself, what have you done? And I'm just steadily repeating to myself, what the fuck have you done? What have you done? What have you done? What have you done? And I just ran until I ran down Maryland. I ran up Jefferson, down Maryland, made that right on Maryland, then made the right on Adams, and ran all the way from 8th and Adams, all the way up Adams to Green Meadow, where my cousin stayed. And this is about 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, something like that. And it just didn't seem real. Because I kept saying to myself, okay, what have you done? What has happened? So when I make it over there, my cousin, she let me in the house and she was like, boy, you ain't did no. I told her what happened. So she was thinking, okay, you ain't did this. Just lay down and go to sleep. And I laid down and went to sleep. And the next morning I woke up. My cousin Alexis, which was Jimmy then, woke me up and said to me, Marquez, do you know what you done? And I sat up on the edge of the bed and I said, no, what? He said, you killed Johnny. And at that point in time, that's when it I guess it just really resonated to me what the fuck had happened. And I was really hoping that it was a dream when I woke up. Even that was August of 1992. And here it is, August of 2025. That was 23 years ago. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think about it. You know, a lot of people tell me, Marquez, you have to learn to forgive yourself. But that's a hard thing to do. When you know that you've done something that could have possibly been prevented, when you know that you've hurt people that cared about and loved you, and you cared about and loved them, it's not just so easy to just forgive, especially forgive yourself. I tell my homegirl, that's my sister, I tell her all the time, I say, you know what? I don't understand how people can kill people and it not bother them. But I'm very spiritual to the point that I tell people all the time, there's a time and a place that things will affect you. You might do something and live with it throughout life for 5, 10, 15, 20 years, and it may not never affect you. But at some point, that ugly demon is going to raise his head. And when it does, there's nothing you can do. It's going to whoop you, and it's going to whoop you, and it's going to whoop you. And to this day, I still have issues that I deal with where I've had to go, where I currently see a mental health doctor, a therapist. And because sometimes I can't deal with this. I'll say this, there was one time, and I've never told anybody this, when I was in the county jail waiting to go to trial, Johnny came to see me.
When you say Johnny, Johnny, that's who is Johnny? Who is Johnny? Okay.
That's Keith.
So
Keith.
You're saying, wait, because I'm confused. You're saying you went to jail before you killed him, right? You were incarcerated
in his dream.
No.
In your dream.
No, listen. When I say he came to see me, I'm talking about his spirit.
Okay.
And I was in a single man cell. And which was called observation. And I woke up and he was standing up over me. And he asked me, why did I do that to him? And there was nothing I could, man, I tore that cell up trying to get out of there. That was the very first time, well, in that incident, that was the first time that I tried to commit suicide. I actually broke down some razors, and you can still see the marks on my wrist. Back then, I sliced both my wrists. And they took me to the hospital. But bro, sometimes I don't know how to deal with this. I don't think I'm looking for closure, because there'll never ever be closure. Because so many people are still hurting to this day.
Well, let me not to interrupt you. Let me ask you this, because there's some holes that I want to make sure. For those of you guys that are tuning in, I'm talking to some people that are just coming on. I'm talking to Marquez He back in the 90s, he was a gay guy. He came out somewhere around 15. Him and his brother's best friend got into an altercation one night, and it led to him killing his brother's best friend. So we're at the point where you wake up at the other house. Do you turn yourself in? How do you get arrested for this?
I actually went over. I left from my cousin's house because she was like, "You got to get out of here." She was like, "Them folks gonna be coming here and they ain't gonna tear my house up looking for you." So I left and went over my best friend Jonathan's house. I spent the entire day over his house. And then later on that evening, I went over some female friends of mine's house. And my plans were to get me some money and try to run to Memphis. And I was gonna hide in the gay community in Memphis. That was my young, dumb thinking. But there was a reward out for me, which was, I think it was like $1,000. However, the one of the sisters of the house that I went over, they left to go to the store, like they were going to the store, and she actually called the police and told them where I was at, and they came to their house and
surrounded the house.
And I surrendered.
How long was this from when you actually did the crime to when they found you? How long were you on the run?
It was the very next day. So that was the shooting. It happened like 2:30 in the morning and it was the the next day, like as if it was like the shooting happened on a Saturday, early Sunday morning. I got arrested that Monday morning.
Okay.
That Monday afternoon, rather to say. It was that Monday afternoon, somewhere around by like 5 or 6 o'clock in the evening.
So let me ask you this. So when you get arrested, obviously you have your day in court. Where you try to defend yourself of this horrific crime.
Yes, I thought it was. I had an attorney. I was charged with first-degree murder, which is premeditated, deliberated, and so forth. My lawyer, he was like, I feel like it's a manslaughter charge at the most. Because I felt like it was self-defense. So he asked me to let him try to plea me out to second degree or either manslaughter, and I was like, no. I said, we're gonna go for all or nothing. Big mistake, but hey. And I gambled. I took it to jury trial. Jury convicted me on first-degree murder, sentenced me to 30 years.
During your trial, and you can answer this question or you don't, who all testified against you and told what happened that night?
Well, there were several people that were out there who testified, but the question of whether I did it or not was never in doubt. Because I took the witness stand myself. I took the witness stand and told my story, which of course my version of the story wasn't the same version of the way that some of the witnesses told out there that happened. And I'm not here to debate or argue whether people lied on me in the courtroom or whatever, but you do have to understand that everybody's going to have, or other people are going to have a different opinion from what happened, especially when you kill their loved one and you're claiming self-defense, regardless of what's what. So I don't hold no ill will against anyone for what they said that was not the truth on the witness stand. And thinking as I know what I know now about the law and everything, I can understand that. I can look at them and not hold any ill will against them for that.
You go, they sentence you to 30 years. You go to the Department of Correction. How long? You did a little under 13 years. Did you have any communications with your family while you were incarcerated? Did you have any conversation with your brother? That was his best friend that you had killed. You had no conversation with your brother. What about your mother?
Yes, my mother was the only family member that came to visit me consistently, put money on my books, and wrote me. There's not now my brother Tremaine on my mother's side, he was in and out of prison himself. And my oldest brother on my father's side was in and out of prison. So I actually was locked up with both of them in the ADC. But outside of that, there's not a single family member after my daddy died when I was 15 that reached out to me, that called me as a young child and checked on me at any given time before to check on my mental health or anything as a child who had lost his father, let alone wrote me or anything while I was locked up. It was just solely me and my mama. That was it.
Do you believe that your family didn't write you because they were mad at you? They still was angry that you had did that?
I don't know. I have a very large family. My family is mainly from Pankey, Roland, Natural Steps, out that way. Millers, Nelsons, Norwoods, Threets, Robinsons, Grandisons, Smiths, Piggies, so forth. Now, I had did some time with a couple of my cousins named Piggies, but as far as my family knowing exactly what went on and having anything to do with the crime or anything, I don't know. But I will say this. I do know this. Where were they at when I was a 15-year-old kid who had lost his daddy, and none of them reached out to me from 15 to 19 when I committed the murder? Where were they at then? So when it comes to family can kiss my ass. Family can kiss my ass. I've got friends out here. I've got a friend that I met in 2005 after I got out of prison, who I consider as a sister, who has been more of a family member to me than any blood family member I have. There was only one family member who wrote me while I was locked up besides my mama, and that was my nephew, who was serving in the military. He served in the Clinton Wars during Bill Clinton time. When he got out of the military, he wrote me, and that was it. That was it. Nobody else. That was it.
When you were locked up, at some point in time, your mother passes.
Correct.
And you told me that you were with the chaplain and you were trying to come home to bury your mother. And you had a conversation with your oldest brother, right? Tell
Yeah, on my
tell me how
mother's
that
side, yes,
conversation
Tremaine.
went about you coming home.
Well, I was at Tucker Max and they called me to the chaplain's office. And I went into the chaplain's office and the chaplain told me that my mother had just passed. This was in 2000. And I was like, what? And he was like, your brother is about to call and wants to talk to you. So Tremaine, he got on the phone with me and we talked and we cried. And he was like, little bro, you got to be strong. We're going to try to get you out. He said, I talked with Kayward, which is Jolly. Kayward is his first name. He said, I talked to him. He said, I had to almost whoop that nigga at the funeral home. I said, about what? He said, well, I asked him, what we gonna do about getting Marquez out for Mama's funeral? Jolly's response was, if he wanted to see Mama buried, he never would have went to prison. I told him right then on the phone, I said, well, you tell that nigga when I get out, I'm gonna kill him. And that was my goal. That was my goal. When I got out, if I would have gotten out in 2000, police officer or not, I was gonna execute him. And for saying what he said there and everything. I was either he would have killed me, or I was gonna kill him.
So you mad at your family? Your mother has passed. Did you get to go to the funeral? Didn't get to
No.
go. How far in your bed alone was that when your mother passed? How much time did you have to do before you got out?
That was 2000. I had 5. I did 5 more years because I got out June 3rd. She died in January of 2000, and I got out June 3rd of 2005.
Okay. So when you get out, obviously you did your time, you get out, you come back. Obviously you have to, where did you even parole to? Like, where did you, obviously when you get out, you have to parole somewhere. If you didn't have family, who did you parole to?
I paroled to a friend of mine who I met in the gay community before I got locked up. He was older than me by I think 10 years, and he stayed in contact with me while I the last few years of my incarceration, and especially right after my mom died, he found out and he reached out to me, and he was like, when you get ready to go for the parole board, he was there with me when I went up for the parole board, spoke on behalf. He was a real good friend of Bill Walker, who was on the parole board at that time. And at that time, I think he was Senator Bill Walker, State Senator Bill Walker. And
You made it.
it got me.
Did you make it on the first try? You made the parole on the first try? Okay, you got denied. No. How many times did you go up before they let you out?
I got denied twice. I made it on my third one.
Okay. So you've been out for how long now, Marquez? How long have you been out?
I've been out now for a little over 20 years. Like I said, I got out June 3rd of 2005. So now it's been 2 months. It's been 20 years and 2 months.
How is your relationship with your family? It's one question. The second part of that question is, how is your relationship with your brother now, today, 20 years later?
We've talked. We've had conversations. I've been over
Are you
his
speaking of your
house.
brother? You speaking of your
Huh?
brother, or you talking about your brother, right? Okay, all right.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes. We've talked, and I've been over his house. But you can still tell that there's hatred, there's disdainment, there's animosity still there. And he's voiced that. Tracy Johnson has tried his best because they went to school together. So they go way back too. Tracy has tried to work us to getting back, but he's not. He still holds that anger and animosity. And hey, I've let go with trying to build a bridge back with him. I've let go because I'm not gonna keep racking my. I'm already dealing with the issue of itself constantly on a day-to-day basis. I don't need to add more to it with me constantly keep going to him, trying to get him to forgive me. Fuck him.
Well, let me ask you this: have you forgiven him? Have you
Forgive
for the way
him
he
for what?
treated you? As we stand here and I hear
I don't
you,
know.
it doesn't seem like you've forgiven him either.
I mean, have I forgiven him for blocking me from my mama's funeral? Hell no. Hell no.
Do you want to have a relationship with him?
No. I do. I do. I honestly do. We both have a lot of issues that we have to deal with. Some things that I did, as a teen, and everything. Um, but is he willing to? Is the question. I am. I'm willing to. But the question is he willing to? And if he's not, then hey, I can't be mad at him for it, but I can say fuck him.
Well, what are you said you're willing to forgive, but what have you done to forgive? What have you did to bridge that?
No, I didn't say I was willing. I didn't say I was willing to forgive him. I said I would be willing to sit down with him and have a relationship
How
with
can
him.
you have a relationship with him
I
and
don't
you've
think
not forgiven him for the way you
I,
felt like he's treated you?
I don't think I could being just straight up and honest with you, B. I'm an asshole. And there are some things that cannot be forgiven. And if he can't forgive me for what I did, that's fine. I can accept that. I can. But I don't know if I can forgive him for the words that he said that kept and that he blocked me from being able to attend our mother's funeral.
Do you feel like you
And some more things and some more things that he did, but I won't get into
do you
it.
feel like you were wrong that night? Do you play what part do you think do you think that you were wrong that night and how it ended up in his best friend losing his life? Do you think that you were wrong? Okay.
Yes, I think I know that I was wrong in a lot of reasons in there. And a lot of things that I did or that I didn't do. I'm not a narcissist. I can accept my my responsibility in my actions. I have absolutely no problem with that. I shouldn't have been carrying a gun. I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have pulled the gun. I should have left. I
Let,
shouldn't have done this. I
let
shouldn't
me
have
ask
done
you,
that.
let me ask you this,
It's a
Marquez.
lot
Let me
of
ask you
things.
this. Have you apologized to Johnny's family?
I can't. Um, I was told when I went up for the parole board, I told the parole board that I wanted to apologize to the family. I wanted to get out and apologize. And the parole board told me that that was part of my parole plan, the stipulations not to do that. So even after I got off parole, there have been times that I have driven by their home and they not knew who I was. And I wanted to stop so bad and get out and go up there and talk. But I know that if I pull up and get out that car and everybody's sitting out there on that porch and I get out that car and they see who the hell I am, it's not going to, I know it will not go well.
Well, when you were doing time, you could have written a letter before you went to parole to apologize them. And even as I hear you, after you got off parole, there were no guidelines that were stopping you from sending a letter, singing a word through somebody else. You know, you talked about you rode through but didn't stop. So you had opportunity to apologize.
Well, actually, I did do that. I did do that. I did sit down and write D a letter. I
What'd you do
did.
with it?
I mailed it, but quite naturally, she didn't respond back, and that was another reason why the parole board got on to me about that, because I was still locked up at the time when I wrote the letter, and I can't remember verbatim what all I said in that letter, because that was, oh my God, I can't even remember the exact time that I wrote it. There was some fucked up statements in the letter. I remember towards Corey, because Corey had told my brother Tremaine that when I got out, what he was gonna do to me. And I know in that letter I made some disparaging comments that, Corey made these statements against me and said that when I get out, what he was gonna do, and so forth.
So you wrote a letter to you wrote a letter to his mom, but the letter had some messed up statements about her son. The letter was supposed to apologize. Well, let's do this. You got an what would you say? You got an opportunity to apologize now. You don't know who's watching this live. You said that you didn't have an opportunity. Are you prepared to apologize to them today?
Yes.
So if I've got some people on this deal, you don't know who's watching this podcast. We don't know. You had an opportunity if you knew that somebody was watching, his family was watching today. What would you say to him? I'm gonna put you up on the big screen. What would you say to his family?
D, Sean, Keisha, Mitty, Shay, Dooney, everybody in the family, friends, that I hurt by my actions. I sincerely, wholeheartedly apologize for taking Johnny's life. There was There was no excuse, no matter what. I'm not going to sit here and try to defend. I did something that I should not have done. I did something that I can't take back. No matter how much we sit and we say, oh, I wish I could go back and I wish I could do this and undo that, I can't. And if you all never forgave me, I would understand. I would not be mad at all. I messed up. I made a poor choice, a poor decision, which affected so many lives. And for that, I am totally sorry for what I did.
In your apology, I didn't hear you mention Jolly. Was that on purpose?
No, it wasn't on purpose that I didn't mention him. I did say to the family and friends. So that includes him.
But you named everybody else.
Well, I named the family members specifically that ran through my head. And there was trust me, you know, there's a lot more family members there than what I named. Most of the ones that I did not name are may be deceased.
And so I want to stay right. Yeah. I want to stay right there because when we had our conversation, you were talking about family, but you named your brother, and it seems like to me, you know, you're a little frustrated with Jolly. And so what I asked you is, do you want that relationship to get better? Do you feel like you owe him an apology? You killed his best friend.
I have apologized to him already, face to face.
And what did he say?
I have.
What did he say?
He just looked at me. He just looked at me like I was crazy. The last time I did it, we was at Tracy's Club, right on a Saturday night, right before everybody started coming in. And I apologized, and his response to me was, what the fuck is an apology gonna do? That ain't gonna bring nobody back. That ain't gonna bring Johnny back. And then he said, hold on, I gotta go do something. He walked away to go to the door. I finished my drink and got the fuck up and said, I'm done. And I walked the fuck out and ain't said nothing since.
Are you prepared to not ever have a relationship with him anymore again? Are you cool with that?
No, I'm not.
So if you're not cool with that, then what are you doing to?
It's got to be a meeting from both heads. It's got to be a meeting from both sides. If he's not willing to, I'm not going to push no more.
But he's not on here saying that he's, wanting this relationship. You are. So if you are wanting a relationship with him, what are you doing?
That don't mean I'm going to continue to kiss. That don't mean I'm going to continue to kiss his ass, B. I'm not going. I've gone as far as I can go. There's a limit. If I'm steadily driving and keeping on, and he ain't, and he at a stop sign and he ain't moving, what the hell I look like? Keep on driving. I look like a damn fool. I mean, I want it, but I put myself out there to show that I want it. He's the one that still got anger to it. But again, anger and hurt has no time limit. So if he was to wait 5 more years from now and come to me in 5 years and say, "Look, bro, let's talk." Guess what? I would talk. And I would be willing to listen, and I would be willing to forgive and everything. I'm saying fuck him as far as me trying to do it anymore. He knows where I stand. Now the ball is in his court.
I got 2 more questions, and then I'm going to open the questions up for my crew. They've been sitting silent, not asking any questions. I know they got some questions they probably want to ask you.
The audience has questions as well.
Yeah. So the last question that I have is: you said that you have gotten help. You're in therapy. Are you currently in therapy about what's going on with you?
Yeah, I haven't seen my therapist in some time, and I said that I was going to put a request in. Listen at me, a fucking request, like I'm still locked. I was going to call him and set an appointment tomorrow.
Yeah, I think you need to. I think you need to.
Damn.
The last, no, I mean you obviously are struggling with. You are struggling with this brother thing, and I know you said fuck him, but you're struggling with it. I think everybody on the live can say that and feel that. My last question is: what do you want to become out of this conversation? What's your purpose for doing this?
I asked myself that, and if you remember, I told you, I said the only thing that bothered me about doing this is opening old wounds on the family, because I did not want to hurt Johnny's family any more than what they already are. I'm gonna lie, I miss those years. And I'm not going to say that I want to get that relationship back with the family, because I don't know if I think that would be selfish of me to be able to expect the family to just forgive me and accept me back and everything of that nature, even though I wish that we could get to a point where we could sit down and talk and try to heal. I don't know. I think that would be kind of selfish. I wasn't thinking of that back then in those years of me being locked up, but I think that would be kind of selfish of me to expect the family to forgive me like that. I see other families do it all the time on television, where you get parents that'll stand in the courtroom and say, I forgive you for killing my son. I really honestly forgive you, and I'm going to pray for you and so forth. But I can't lie. I can't say that I wouldn't feel that way if the roles were reversed. So to answer your question of what I want out of this, the only best answer that I can give is that God's will be done. That's the only thing I can say. Whatever his will is with this situation, let it be done. That's all I can say.
For those of you just tuning in, we're talking to Marquez. He actually, back in the early 80s, 90s, came out of the closet, was a gay guy. Something happened one night where he and his brother's best friend got into it. He actually killed the best friend. He went to jail, did 13 years for murder. He's out. Having a conversation about his relationship with his family. All right, crew. Tristan, before you go to the comments, I want to give the people on the platform, Candy, Anthony, do y'all have any questions that y'all would like to ask?
He's
Marquez?
answered a lot of mine. Like, have you forgiven yourself? Things of that nature. Like, is he getting help? he's kind of answered those things.
Okay. Peter, you have anything you wanted to ask?
Now, like I say, he answered all of mine as well. I mean, no, I don't have any questions.
All right, Tristan, I know. Do you have any questions, Tristan? And I know you've got. You can't read all these comments, right? So, first of all, do you have any questions before we go to the comments?
I don't have any questions. I will say, nobody's did that on here. I do want to say to Marquez, I'm sorry that you went through that. I know some things can be insensitive sometimes, and I thank you for coming on here, telling your story.
Yes.
Even though you were, got in trouble for that, I still want to uphold you for telling your story. And it's
Yeah.
not easy defending yourself. It's not easy making decisions at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So like I definitely commend you for standing up and coming on here. Like I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. And I can only go off of what you told us. You know what I'm saying? So the comments that I'm having, me and you are going, we can have a conversation about that because I want to reply to you as a you because only you went through that. I don't want to reply on the podcast where the other party is not here because I don't know. But for what you told me, me and you are going to have a conversation because I just don't want to say how I feel, just from your story. I'm gonna say how I feel just to you, since you were the only one on the side of the story that told your story.
Okay.
Right.
Tristan, there are a lot of comments. Obviously, we can't catch them up, right? I want you to pick, 2 or 3 comments, that you might want to read. And
I
if
can't see
Marquez-
all of them, because
Okay.
they're kind of all over the place, on my end. There's a Rhonda Nicole A on here. She's saying 33 years ago. Let's see. Valerie Jones says I never seen a knife. Kay Evans asked her was she there. She never replied. Tam says, what's T's real name?
Well, he mentioned that as Johnny.
Yeah, I know, but he said a lot of names. It was kind of confused because I thought Corey was Johnny at one point in the story.
Now, T was his nickname.
Okay. Denise says Jackie Rob, Jacko. Patricia says, rest in peace, Alexis. Loved her. Never mind. He just answered that. Marcelo says, hey, B. Valerie Jones says, this is the first time I've seen Marquez since court. Siobhan says, hey, y'all. Let's see.
Let me read this one while you're going. Deja's saying, praying for healing for all involved. Therapy and
Yeah, I don't
coaching
see that.
services are both great options for forgiveness and healing. Reggie Swinton said he's family, so is it fuck me too? I mean, he said earlier. Reggie Swinton said he's family.
Well, hold on. Let me say this, Reggie. Me and you didn't find out we were cousins until just a few years here go back. So no, it ain't fuck you. It ain't fuck you.
Marcella Town Winston. I don't know, Tristan. Can you see those comments on the screen? Should I read them or can you see them?
I can try to read it. Okay, now it sounds like you're just a cold-blooded murderer with that response about your bro.
Let me see. Go ahead and read that one, Tristan.
It sounds like he is a tenor. I don't know what that means. I'm slow.
I'm just putting them up here.
Monte Payne says all families have things to forgive each other for. Peace is not free.
Marcella Town Winston is saying,
come on now, you will never have peace with that kind of attitude. No one made the decision but you to pull a weapon.
Monty,
we cannot judge this man. We cannot give him advice unless we have been through the exact same situation.
Yeah, that's what you were saying.
That's what I was saying. I agree to that. Like, I can't say you were wrong because from the story that I heard, he was defending himself. Like, he just said the sister was pushing the boy back and stuff like that. Like, I just can't be on here. I'm not going to lie. I can't be on here insensitive about his situation. I understand he passed away. I'm sensitive about that situation, but I can't judge I can't just judge Marquez off of his situation because everybody mistakes. He was young. He was 19. Y'all done dumb stuff at 19. His was just way more impactful than yours. You get what I'm saying? He made a mistake. He ain't say he came on, oh yeah, I killed that mother. He didn't do that. He said it was an accident. He didn't even know. He was in shock when he did it. He didn't even realize he killed him until the next morning. So that's what I meant about the insensitive statements. You know what I'm saying?
And I do want to
For the
say,
people who wasn't there 33 years ago. I mean, probably people that was there in the courtroom. People have their different opinions. I wasn't even alive then. So my whole thing, I was 2 years old. So my thing is, I can't really just say, Marquez, you were wrong for that. But I commend him for telling his truth.
yeah, that's what I want to say. Obviously, coming forth this
A lot of
time
people don't do
later,
that.
yeah, you know, is so applaud your courage for wanting to live in your truth, tell the story. Obviously, there's some people on here that might think, you know, differently how the story went. You're remorseful. They're having their opinion, and obviously that's the part. You're not gonna make everybody happy. That's a part of doing
Yeah,
something like this, and it's live. You can't control what people feel. You can't control what people
Yeah.
say.
And I also
But
do understand the other family
right.
side too. Like they lost somebody. Of course, you lose someone that still hurts you from years and years and years. So I definitely is sensitive to to the other side as well.
have we left out anything,
Right.
Marquez, that we failed? Candy, were you trying to talk? Were you trying to say something, Candy? I got you muted because you're. Hold on a second. Go ahead. You were giving me feedback. Go ahead, Candy.
Okay, what I was, can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead. I had you
Okay.
muted because there was some
Yeah.
feedback on your
Okay,
part. Go
what
ahead.
I was gonna say is that we have personally been on the side of the family of the killer, or well, the sibling that was killed. And so for him to get on and apologize to the family is extremely big, because that's something that I desire to have. And the guys are just pretty much running free. So I don't know if they're remorseful. I don't know if it's fuck y'all. I don't know if it's y'all do it again. So for him to get on and say any of that to me is big.
Yeah, and the
Because like I
first thing
said,
that you got to look at yeah, Candy, like you got to look at keywords. I agree. Like the first thing he said was, "We were family. I loved them." You know what I'm saying? Like
he wasn't
That's
dismissing them at all. It was
yes. He
like,
wasn't. He was like
I'm
first thing he
tired of
said
reaching
was,
out to my brother, because he's saying fuck me. So I'm like, I'm tired of reaching out. So it's fuck him too. He doesn't really mean fuck him. It's like, I'm
"Yeah, I
tired
know
of
what he
kissing your
means when he
ass.
say
Yeah.
yeah."
Yeah.
Like what is he to do? Like when B Level was
Yeah.
saying, well, you're asking for, but what is he to do? If somebody keeps throwing a rock at you, like you're gonna let him keep throwing a rock at you till you
Yeah.
bleed to death?
It's
Like, come on
rejection.
now,
He,
you
he
gotta
feels
be
rejected every time.
rejected. Nobody likes rejection.
Yeah.
Like, come on now.
Have we left out
Yeah.
any part, Marquez, that you want the public to know, that you want your family to know, that you want Johnny's family to know? You know, is there anything that we're missing? Is there anything before we finish this that you would like them to know? You have apologized to them. Is outside of your apology, is there anything that you would like your family to know?
So, nothing that I haven't already said. That you know, if my brother was willing to sit down with me and have a decent conversation, you know, or if anybody was, the family, whatever, I'm open to that. It's like Candy and Tristan said. When I said fuck him, I meant it the way that I said it. I mean, it wasn't like fuck him. It was like, you know, if I keep trying and you're not, then fuck you. But I am, like I said, I am open to you know, I'm human. I'm gonna feel the way that I feel, and I'm not even mad at those that, like you said, that commented however they commented. You know, people are gonna feel the way they. I don't expect. It's just like I say when I do in my social media and my podcast. I don't expect for every single person to get on and agree with me. I don't want that. I want people to speak their feelings and their emotions and say what they think or believe, no matter how harsh it is or whatever. I'm not thin-skinned. I can take it. I'm a big boy. And I understand everybody has feelings. Everybody has an opinion, you know. And I appreciate you, Tristan, for, you know, having that attitude that you're not, you know, gonna agree here or there until knowing the other side. That's what life is about. You know, you got to know, you know, what's what, before you can make an affirmative decision. And I appreciate that. So yeah, that's the answer to that.
Tristan, read that last comment.
I am.
I talk with the individuals every day, and as a black man, we must have more conversations like this.
Yeah.
I talk with individuals every day, and as black man, I agree with Monte. Is it Monty or Monte? I'm sorry, it's
Monty.
small on my screen because he
Monty.
want me to be on my iPhone so bad.
Yeah, Monty. He also says words are powerful, and sometimes we need to use language that is helpful and not harmful. So I'll end with this. I really do think, Marquez, you know, you can't change who you're related to. You can't change family, right? Things are followed. That's one of the reasons why I'm having this episode this week, calling it family business. You can't help who you're kin to. I totally, you know, what I'm hearing in these comments is that you need to first forgive yourself for what you're doing, but you also need to go and follow through with your help of getting some appointment, because I don't truly believe, brother, that you are healed from this. And so I would encourage you that, you know, to seek, like you saying, you want to do that starting tomorrow. Please do that. I think that you know, obviously there are people that are smarter than you and I that can help you through the trauma that you're still dealing with. So I encourage that. And again, I appreciate you coming on this platform. As Tristan, as Candy said, it is gruesome dealing with, you know, this public and they having their opinion and being subject to that. And so big applause for you for coming on and telling your story. Thank you. And know that you always have a home here at UTB. You know, you look every Sunday at us, and so you're family to us too. So I wanted to say that to you publicly, that you're family to us. We're going to move on to, we've got two more things, y'all. We're running a little late, but we've got the Jayla with the T. Jayla is out. She had a gruesome day at work. And so I've got 3 news stories that we're going to do for her. And we're still going to do her segment, Jayla with the T. And then we're going to also, I don't know if we're going to do our question that came in, our Ask 3 question. I don't know if we're going to do it, but let's get to the Jayla with the T in the news. And Marquez, I'm going to get you to help me do this first story, but let me get her bit, and we're going to do the Jayla with the T.
Started by the jealous people and
Breaking news right now. ABC News has just confirmed that Sean Diddy Combs was arrested tonight.
What's the tea? These days I'm courtside with a mascot.
you want the tea, bitch?
Get your motherfucking tea ready.
I don't stir the pot, but I will spill the tea. This is Shayla with the tea.
All right, Jayla's not here, but we still got to do the news, the trending topics. So I am going to try to do this news story. Now, first off, Marquez, I saw that you posted some on your story about this Nick Thomas story. For those of you guys are knowing, Nick Thomas, who had the Little Rock Fest that was supposed to be today, was arrested last night, and this thing was trending all over Facebook. And what was your finding with the Nick Thomas? I know you were kind of close to it and did some research on it, Marquez. What did you find with this story?
Well, I found out that he had been arrested on yesterday. Seemingly the way the reports are going is that it was a failure to appear, saying that he had a little over a $3,000 fine that needed to be paid in Faulkner County, which is Conway. Now, someone came in the comments and said that he had already paid that fine. But there's also word that once he pays that fine in Faulkner County, that there's also a warrant for him in Crawford County. I'm still trying to look into that, and find if he does actually have a warrant in Crawford County or what. But my belief to the reason that they waited to arrest him on Saturday is he has an event that was supposed to be taking place today.
Right.
And we all know who follows Nick other incidents where the police of Little Rock has not been very favorable to him and his events.
Right.
And the speculation is that the police waited until Saturday evening after all businesses or anything dealing with the courts, any judges that may have been at the courthouse on a Saturday, or had some authority to let him go, will have gone on, and that there will be nobody in there on Sunday. So arresting him on Saturday evening would definitely keep him locked up all the way to Monday, if not Tuesday, if that warrant with Crawford County is in fact true, which would eliminate that event that was planned for today from happening.
So basically, they locked him up. What I'm hearing is they gave him a cash bond and not a surety bond. A surety bond means that he could pay 10% of whatever his bond is. A cash bond means he has to pay it all. And I think it was something over $3,000 for him to get out. But even after he paid the $3,000, he would be held to this. What's the name of the other county? Is it Sebastian County?
Crawford
County. So if he paid the $3,000 last night to get out, he would then go over to Crawford County, and he's got a failure to appear there, right? So he has to go before a judge, so he couldn't get out no matter what he did.
Correct. Now, see, my understanding with the law is if you've got a failure to appear, you 9 out of 10, most of the times you got to go be back before the judge to be able to explain why you failed to appear on whatever the underlying charge is.
Right.
So, I mean, this man has a business.
Yeah.
Little Rock Chicken and Pancakes.
Right.
And you mean to tell me he's got this failure to appear forever how long, and you all wait until this Saturday in the evening, the eve before his event on Sunday, to go and make this perp walk spectacle to arrest him right then on the spot? It just seems kind of fishy. And also, to add a little spice to it, you know, Nick made a post about a month ago that he was thinking about running for mayor in 2026 against Frank. So in my opinion, there's, you know, with Little Rock Police knowing that if this man ran for mayor and won, they could put a sack to it, because he's gonna be all up in Little Rock PD's tail if he became mayor.
So you think it's they arrested him because obviously they didn't want him to do this Little Rock Hood news. So everybody's on social media kind of agreeing with you. Here's Mike Ross saying these motherfuckers waited until the man outside of his business to arrest him in front of his employees and customers over a traffic ticket that's over 10 years old. All this so he wouldn't have the Little Rock Day event. We even paid Little Rock Police Department to work. So basically they just wanted to hold him all weekend so he can't have the event. It's not about traffic tickets or breaking the law. That's what Ross is saying. Nate, the African, is saying, hear me out. Do y'all think it's coincidence that when he's about to do a major event that's going to bring out a lot of people, these folks always make and find a way to arrest him? At this point, they are targeting him. This shit ain't right. It's injustice. If you ask me, damn near can build a harassment case. Yeah. So everybody is, go ahead. You were trying to say something, Marquez?
Yeah, it's I mean, I'm not saying that Nick is perfect. None of us are perfect, but the brother is trying to do some good things in the community. And everybody that I've always known throughout history that has done anything that has been favorable to the Black community has been either downtrodden or assassinated. And we can go all the way back to Dr. King. We can go back to JFK. We can go anybody. We can go back to Malcolm X. We can look at Medgar Evers. We can look at just Huey P. Newton. Anybody that does anything that's for the Black community. Hey,
well, yeah, and we do
facts is
see
facts.
everything that he does for the kids, the backpacks, the pizzas, the deal in the park. I'll say this, there are two parts to having an event and being successful in our little city of Little Rock. All right, there's the popularity part, the getting people interested in doing, and then there's the politic part, the relationship parts. And what I see is he's did a really good job being popular and doing those, but I don't think he's done as great of a job relationship wise. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right.
this is Little Rock. You got to have relationships, right? You got to have relationships with the people that you, especially, trying to do some of the things that he's doing. You've got to have the relationship to the people that matter. And I like Nick. I think he's doing really well. I know Nick personally. He has a good heart. I think sometimes he's misunderstood with our people, but that's where I see this, he's not doing a great job having a relationship with the people that matters. And that's unfortunate because his event, now they're saying they're still having the event. It's in the Interstate Park today, and then they have an after party tonight at Taboo. They had a rap artist that was supposed to be there, and I don't know if he's going to be there, but they're supposed to be still having the event in memory of Nick, saying free Nick. So hopefully everybody is safe tonight in that park. Hopefully everybody is safe tonight at Taboo. And there are no problems with the police and all of that. Hopefully Nick gets out. I think that what he's doing is great. I just think that he needs to do a better job trying to have a relationship with the people that matter. Okay. All right. The next question.
Stay with me here.
Is
I'm trying to make a
situation where North Little Rock Officer Norman can no longer take pics or do video in his uniform. Okay. He did a short video last week saying that North Little Rock, he insinuated that the agency will not allow him. Everybody knows who Officer Norman is. He does a lot of great things in the North Little Rock community. He was nationally known for his community policing. And here's the video that he released talking about him not being able to take any more pictures or doing any more social media posts while he's in his police uniform. Here it is.
Stay with me here. I'm trying to make a point. So with that came notoriety, it came popularity, and once again, I didn't become a police officer for all of this. And then came speaking engagements and traveling across the United States, visiting communities, with social media and with posts, pictures, relationships, stories, sad stories, happy stories, people that have passed away, people that have given birth. I feel like for the most part, I've done a pretty good job of social media when it comes to post. I can post anything today, just like Davey right here. People love Davey. He's going to create a lot of attention. There probably were times when if I did post something, I could use better judgment. It was kind of like a trial and error, so to speak, because you have all these people that are following you and following what the community does and how we work together here to make a difference. And whether I'm on duty or off duty, I'm always going to give. Doesn't matter. 2 o'clock hits, my shift's over. I'm not done giving. So, I want to use my words carefully here. I'm not going anywhere. I'm still here. You will see some changes though. You'll no longer see me posting my interactions in uniform. And I don't want to go into a lot of detail on that, but it wasn't, and it's not solely my decision. There are some things in place that hinder me from posting on duty. And let me say this: being a police officer, yes, I understand. First and foremost, you're to protect and serve. But no one out there can tell me that community policing is not a big part of being a police officer in a community, whether it's North Little Rock, whether it's Texas, Florida, California. It doesn't matter. Community policing that's where it's at. Do I think the world needs to see it? Do I think the world needs to see it from other police officers?
All right. So what he was just saying is that some happened where the agency that he works with, which is North Little Rock Police Department, told him he could not take any pictures or do anything on social media in his uniform. What do you think about that, Kenny? You think that's fair? You think that obviously he's been doing it for so many years. It's he put it under community policing. So obviously you have to show that you are police in order for people to know that you are community policing. What do you think of that? You think that that's fair for them to tell him he can't do that? You on mute, Candy. Unmute yourself. No, we still can't hear you. I'll come back to you. Anthony, you think it's okay for them to say that he can't take pictures and...
Yeah, I think it's fair and justified. The uniform is public property. Your job is to protect and serve. I understand, you're using the uniform to show that police can be positive in your community. But at the same time, you do still work for the people.
Yeah.
And that's a government job. So I mean, if they say no, then we gotta respect.
Marquez, what you think? What you think?
Oh, that's a very touchy situation, because community policing, when you go back to community policing is something where police are supposed to act with the community. We look at when police used to ride bikes in the neighborhood. They would talk to the neighbors. They would interact with them. They would learn about the people in the community and everything of that nature. I believe law enforcement, up under this imbecile idiot that we have in Washington, D.C. as president, has gotten our police officers, who are our brothers and our sisters and our cousins and nieces and nephews, to basically start like a militia attitude against the common people. It's all right for them to beat us up. And when I say us, I don't just mean black people. I mean citizens, period. It's all right to beat us up or to arrest us or harass us, but how dare an officer gets out in the community and have a bond or a relationship with people in the community, and that with it. It behooves. It's kind of like, as a police officer, I would ask, well, what the hell y'all want us to do? Y'all just want us to be a Gestapo? Do y'all want us to be douchebags to everybody out in the community? Or do you want something through the neighborhood and people stop and talk to them? Hey, Officer Norman, there's a dude doing, or there's a woman doing that. She or he might need some help, or you might need to. There have been times when people have went to him and stopped him to get people to turn themselves in who have committed crimes.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't get it.
Candy, what you think? I can hear you now. What you think?
I just think they got other shit they need to be worried about. He's been doing it all this time, so it's like, why put a stop to it now? If he's done harm, he's done it for a long time. So why put a stop to it now? Worry about some other.
Yeah.
And I mean, unless there's some other shit going on where they trying to protect him as well. I mean, it can go both ways. Let's say, God forbid, some bad shit come out. Officer Norman, he molesting girls, this. Then it will come out where he disrespecting the uniform. So it's kind of it's watching out for him as well. You know, hey man, don't do that because somebody might say this and this, or don't do this because somebody might say you did that. You know, so let us protect you as well.
And I think Crystal here saying I think somebody reported Norman for doing some foul stuff.
But
So
they're
instead
talking
of
about like social media and taking pictures. They're not even
Yeah.
talking about the big stuff that they say that he's doing. You know,
But that's not. But
sleeping with
what I'm saying,
underage girls,
I
things
don't.
like
I don't
that.
know
Like,
I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing. I'm just saying
yeah,
they're protecting that uniform. That
yeah, I don't
uniform is,
either.
you know, when you put that uniform on, you're police. If you want to be social media guru or whatever, do that on your off time. That's all they're saying. You know.
and
I
this
can
Yeah,
the
well,
agree
person
like I
with
said,
that.
says,
he's done it for a long time in that uniform. So put a stop
Yeah,
to it
but
in the
something must have
beginning. Why
happened
stop it
where
now? You know.
they had to get in front of it and say, you know what, hey, we gotta stop this before it get bigger, because something might have happened.
let,
You know,
let
we
me
don't
read
know.
some of these. Let me
Yeah.
read some of these comments. It says I think somebody reported Norman for doing some foul stuff. So instead of them probably investigating him, they're sweeping it under the rug and just saying, "Do what you do," but not
In that
with our
uniform.
name behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Marcella Town Winston is saying, I think it's bullshit. Officer Norman has brought about a change in that community and helps people to trust the police. And Patricia Moore is saying, hell, they already have. I don't know what you mean by that. So anyway, that's the thing. He won't be able to post anymore or take pictures in his uniform. The last story is kind of crazy. A judge in Atlanta, this guy was on trial for murder. He murdered a police officer. Something happened. I don't know the details of the case. He went to trial and he actually was found not guilty, but the judge made a mistake and read that he was guilty. And I want to play this video, but the juror was like, no, you messed that up. But crazy video. I want to play it and come back and talk about it.
We, the jury, find the defendant guilty as to all 6 counts of the bill of indictment. Sheriff, will you please hand this to State's counsel and pass it over to...
Wait, what?
Didn't I say not?
No.
Sorry. We, the jury, find the defendant not guilty on all 6 counts. I apologize for my mispronunciation.
Now, man, that's crazy. Can you imagine, Marquez, you have been on trial before. Can you imagine a judge saying, Marquez, you are guilty, just to find out you like, oh my goodness, I'm finna go to life. And then somebody said, wait a minute. Can you guys imagine being on trial and the judge making a mistake saying not guilty or saying guilty when he was supposed to say not guilty? Man.
Yeah.
That'll change my life permanently. I'm like,
Hey, I can hear us now. Man, they found me guilty, but it was number God. It made the judge change his mind. Ooh, girl, that was number God.
Hey, see, I'm so glad you said that, man. I hear that. Oh,
Yeah.
it burns me up when folks do that all the time, man.
Won't he will, girl? Won't he will?
They say, God,
Girl, I went to court this morning. The judge said I was guilty of all charges, but God said no. And the judge had to change his mind, girl. Ooh, it wasn't nothing but God, girl. I got to give him the praise.
Well, you know, I guess it's better than them saying that he was not guilty and then changing it to guilty.
Oh,
you ain't lying.
I mean, I'd much rather have that, him cleaning up saying, oh, you're not guilty. Oh, I'm sorry, you're guilty. Oh, shit. No, hell no.
Yeah.
But this is the thing. Correct me if I'm wrong. He said, we, the jury, find the defendant not guilty of all 6 charges. Then he start telling the sheriff to take the boy into custody?
No, I couldn't hear. He was saying, you know, I guess he was starting to do that, but then the jury kind of say, wait a minute, and then he cleaned it up. So he didn't get through all.
Okay, but when he said that, and then the jury cleaned it up, his response was, "Didn't I say not guilty?" Well, if you thought you said not guilty, why you gonna start telling the sheriff to take him into
Right.
custody?
I don't know, man, but that was a crazy deal in Fulton County in Atlanta. So needless to say, nobody need to go to his judge, man.
Yeah.
Last but not least, before we get out of here, we're going to do
Exactly.
our Ask Dree. We're going to do our Ask Dree question. Dree is not here, but someone emailed this question in, and we're going to dive into it real quick. This young lady said, "Hey, UTB, I listen to you guys' podcast every week, and I'm writing in because something recently happened to me and my boyfriend that I would like to get your opinion on. My boyfriend and I have been dating now for about 3 years now, and we have a very open and honest communication where we tell each other everything. Because of this, I know about his past relationships, including the girls that he was engaged to before me. Well, the other night during sex, I'm almost positive that I heard him say the name before he climaxed. I guess the other girl's name. Mind you, due to the circumstances, I didn't immediately stop. And afterwards, I didn't know how to feel about it. I did ask him before we went to sleep, but he said I was tripping. After asking multiple times, he finally admitted that he slipped up and said her name. I didn't press the issue that night, but it has been on my mind for several days, and I really wanted to have a conversation about it again because I know what I heard. Her name sounds nothing like mine, but now I'm wondering, when was the last time he saw her / been with her, because this has never happened before. And on top of that, the same thing actually happened to me when I did the same thing in a different relationship. So I know I'm not crazy. Could this mean that he's had sex with her recently? And should I let go or confront him about calling me his ex during sex? And it's entitled Ex During Sex.
It don't mean he's still sleeping with her. The feelings may still be there. Her moan might have sounded like the other woman's moan. You just really never know what wires a man to do what they do, you know?
Yeah, man, her pussy might feel like the other girl pussy.
Could it be that he was thinking of the other girl? Could it be that in his sex is mental, right? Some say it's mental. So could he be thinking about the other girl?
Yeah.
No, sometimes your
that new
stuff
one is a
might not-
distraction.
No, sometimes niggas be forcing themselves to be with you, but he's still in love with the other chick, right?
That's what I just said. She's a distraction. She's a placeholder, but his heart is over there.
He be hitting it with you, and in order for him to stay hard, he got to picture her. Because your stuff ain't that good. He be drying
That's
out.
not what that means.
He
That's
be
not what
drying
that
out
means.
in mid-stroke, and so he just like, man, I gotta psych myself out and call you Keisha. I'm just saying.
Hold on a second. I'm coming to you, Marquez. Patricia Moreland says, shit, call out another dude's name. Only if
No,
you're
that's going to
not
make
afraid.
it worse.
Oh, my goodness. Hell no.
Nuh-uh.
He has been with her. It's what Patricia's saying. Patricia's saying he's been with her. Maisha Thomas has said, just go on and get your spend a night bag and go home, sis.
Yeah.
Hold on a second, Pete. Feeling my tail is what Vanshila is saying. Tony O. Dickerson is replying to Tony and saying, right, got to be brave enough. And then Patricia's on said, girl code, never call names. What
Well, at least he didn't lie to her and say no, and just kept gaslighting her like that's not what you heard. At least he was honest.
He lied at first, and then she kept on pressing.
Yeah, he could have kept lying. They keep lying for years, you know?
What he could have said is, he could have said there was a girl name in the porn video I watched before I came over.
No.
Marquez, what you think? You think he done slept with the girl? Or you think he's thinking about the girl? What you think?
You know what? This happened in a movie. It was in a miniseries where dude was knocking off 2 studs, and he was banging both the studs. And every time in this one scene when he was with one, he called the other one's name. And then when he banged the other one, he called her name. So he said, when your mind is set, this particular one at the time, it's a natural reaction that you call out
Yeah.
the other person's name. It's what's in your mind. It's you
Yeah.
thinking about subconsciously right then at that point. This is the person's name that's on the mind. All I can say is
Oh
she
my
need to be.
goodness.
She
Oh my
need. What's
goodness.
her name?
She didn't say her name. She
He
didn't
should have
tell her
said
Okay,
name.
baby,
so
because he could have been thinking
let's
about it saying baby, but he said the name, which messed
let's
him
say
up. But baby,
let's
he could be thinking about somebody totally different.
let's say
Say
her name
baby.
is Teresa. Let's say her name is Teresa. She better be glad that he was David.
And see,
Oh
Well,
my
at least
goodness.
you'll know.
Oh
see,
Lord.
a real player will be on one accord with their penis. You know what I'm saying? If I said if I called you Keisha, I'm just saying if I called you Keisha, you're like, who is
Have you
Keisha?
done it
I'm like,
before?
no, but I'm saying I'm gonna tell you what real players do. With real players, if you fuck up and say somebody else's name, we gonna say, baby, that's your sex name. That's what I picture you as is when I'm fucking you as Keisha. You know what I'm saying? You's a bad motherfucker. That's what they call an alter ego name,
That ain't
baby.
gonna fly, P.
Yes, it will.
No,
Yes, it will.
With
So
a
listen, man.
no.
with a dumb chick it'll fly, but not with no smart one.
Well, most chicks out here niggas fucking they dumb. We talking about the majority.
Listen, Maisha saying sounds like Anthony has done this before. Anthony,
No,
sound like
I'm- see, what you gotta do is you don't wait to do the shit to kind of get yourself out the shit. You start coming up with shit beforehand of how to get out the shit. Like, damn, this
I
how I'm
don't
gonna
think
say
you didn't
this.
get out of too much shit with that
This,
last
Why
thing.
nah, I ain't
why
never
not
used none of that shit.
why not just be honest and just be with one? P?
That's what I do. That's what I do, my queer. I said be with one. I don't try to be with 4, 5, 6 of them.
Okay.
That's what I
Okay.
do.
Yeah, okay. So you good.
Patricia saying a cat is slicker than a dog.
Absolutely.
Turn your TV off. Don't watch nothing else. Maisha saying.
All that stud movie you was talking about.
Now, hey, now I will say this.
Go ahead, Pete. What were you trying to say? Tonio Dixon is replying to Maisha saying he probably have. Von Sheila saying that's why you call them all baby. You can't go wrong with names.
Yeah.
Let's see.
They make them call me daddy.
Yeah, Maisha's
You
replying
ain't-
to Tonio Dickinson that part. And Patricia, let's see, Patricia Moreland, let's get her comment up here. Patricia
I
Moreland
make
is
them call me
saying,
daddy.
I would have put my clothes back on, and I guess she's saying got the hell
Well,
out
she
of
said
there.
she had to see it through first, so she had to. Yeah.
She wanted
So,
to
baby,
get
I don't
heard.
know. I don't think the crew knows what to tell you. I don't know that we have an answer for you. His mouth is where his mind is. If he said it, that's probably where his mind is. I don't necessarily think that he obviously had to be that cheated on him. He could, but that
Yeah,
doesn't
he probably
necessarily
misses her
mean.
though.
I mean, and that doesn't necessarily mean he cheated on you. Okay, he could
Right,
just like
that's
he
true.
said, he could actually just be thinking of it. Oftentimes sex is visual, right? Sexual is visual. Sometimes you be in situations where you gotta think something to get to over the hill. As
I said because her stuff ain't that good.
I
So
mean,
he got picture Keisha stuff.
He could have a point. He could have a point.
Well, for him to call her name, it has to, because for him to say the name, it's good. It reminded him of some more good. So I don't think it was trash, P.
Oh no. Oh no.
Well, I don't think we can help you out. I would just say you just need to keep listening and make sure. And I'll say if the guy is listening, bro, just like Von Sheila and Anthony say, just call him baby. Don't call him no name. If you got multiple names in your head, you better get your shit together because it looks like she on your ass and she ain't gonna let you slide. So get your shit together.
That's why I say good pussy ain't for everybody. Everybody ain't meant to get that good pussy. But they can't handle that good pussy. They'll call you another name and shit. Good pussy ain't for everybody.
Maisha saying B level so reasonable. LOL. Just get yourself together. Get yourself together.
Yeah.
Let me just say this before we leave. I know Tristan is gone, but I do want to put this up. Tristan is, hopefully he's still doing this. He's not on. He's doing a 30-day run at Discount Services. If you want to get in Tristan transformations appointment book. He has a website that you need to book at. I don't know if it's on this, but let's see if the booking site is on here. 870-217-9500. Book online. It says book online, but he has a number down here, 870-217-9500. Tristan is doing a 30-day run where he's giving 30 to 50% off of his services. And he said last week the quality of work is just like the regular price, but he is giving you a discount. So make sure you patronize Tristan Hobb, Tristan Transformation on his 30-day run segment, okay? Before we get out of here, do not forget, I need to say this. I need everybody to UBT is on our 100th episode. Marquez, I hope you come and spend Sunday, September the 7th with us. 5 p.m. We're doing a live taping where we're having live audience. You will get to say your comment in person. We will do our show right there in front of you guys on the spot. The whole crew will be there. The address is right there at the bottom, is at the Versailles Clubhouse, 4401 East 46 in North Little Rock. It's right off of McCain Boulevard in North Little Rock in the clubhouse. September the 7th. We're going to move our taping at 5 p.m. Please, 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 please make sure you're available. It is free. We're going to have some hors d'oeuvres. You can come, eat a little food, drink a little bit, and have some conversation with the UTB crew, all right, on Sunday, September the 7th. And this Wednesday, on the level with B-Level, I'm going to have my family on, calling it family business. Make sure you tune in. 7:30. We'll have you out of here by 9 o'clock. On every Wednesday on the level with B-Level, this Wednesday, 7:30. Do we got any further business? Candy that y'all want to announce before we get out of here?
No, we're good.
Marquez, again, thank you, bro. Do you have anything that you want to promote that's going on with you before we get out of here?
No, nothing that I can say of it. I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for what y'all do. I don't know where we would be in this city without this platform. And my most humble prayers that the UTB podcast continues to grow, and that it to infinity and beyond is what I can say, to infinity and beyond.
I appreciate that, bro. And let these people know your platform and what you got going on and when you go. I know your lives are pretty random, but let them know how they can follow your movement and where they need to go on Facebook to follow your pages.
Okay. On Facebook, we've got Zeuqram Relum, which is ZEUQRAM, and then RELLIM, and then you got a space, and then it's Marquez TV. I've got a YouTube page. Please follow me on YouTube, where I do my what's called prison passages and other videos where I talk about different episodes of prison. It's the @ Marquez Miller 2764. Please subscribe. I'm not charging anything for that. Please subscribe. Go on there, support that as well. I've got my TikTok page, which is just simply Marquez Miller and then the number 3. You can follow me on there. Everything that goes to Facebook goes to Instagram as well. So Instagram is just simply Marquez Miller. Hey, I appreciate each and every one of y'all. I appreciate most definitely all the followers that I've gotten since I've been on the podcast tonight. I thank each and every one of y'all, because I've gotten a little over almost 50 new followers.
Oh, that's good.
On here. So I appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I want you to know, man, listen, I certainly do support other podcasts. I'm not one of those people that feel like I can't share my platform with nobody else. I support you. I share your lives. I'm on your live. I'm active with you. And so I certainly support your movement and what you're doing. I've known you. This story that I told, I was there the night that all of this happened, not there on location, but I was Corey was one of my best friends, so I was very close to this situation. I'm forever grateful for you coming and deciding to share your story on this platform with our viewers and our listeners. And just know we don't talk every day. I'm always a Marquez fan. Anything you need, I'm a phone call away. But thank you again for sharing your story on this platform, man. And I'm certainly going to be pulling for you to be successful in anything you're trying to accomplish, fam. For real, for real.
Let me say just one last thing, just real quickly.
Okay. Go ahead.
To everyone who, I can't change your opinion, but to those who think negative of me, think that I'm a stone cold killer and all this and all that, please don't think that. I'm really not. Listen, I'm a human being just like everyone else. I have made some poor choices, some bad decisions, and I'm going to continue to make poor choices and bad decisions. I just hope that I don't continue to make the same ones. I really do have a heart for people, and I really, I do care. I do. If I didn't, this wouldn't be on my spirit. This wouldn't be on my heart, and I wouldn't have even thought twice about speaking about it. So to those that feel like that, I know some of y'all are gonna feel still the same, but hey, all I can say is, as I say at the end of my podcast, God bless your hearts and all your parts.
All right, with that, we will see you on Wednesday at 7:30 on The Level with B Level. And don't forget Sunday, September the 7th, our 100th episode. We want you guys to come and enjoy that Sunday at 5 o'clock with us. Okay, we don't have any other order of business. We will see you Wednesday, same bat time. 7:30 is the same bat channel. Y'all, good night.
Had another rough conversation with the voices in